Okay, time for a challenge. This is not a challenge at all. It's so easy. Pull the sheets right off the corner. It's like, you are the key to my heart. Well, happy Valentine's Day, guys. It's almost Valentine's. Hello! Time for a challenge. Nice to meet you, funny girl. Creation, so have any questions? Because I'm free during the whole time. My bubble's annoying. Okay, time for a challenge. I'm gonna be challenging me after every time I do a simple one. Hey? Oh, she left. She only said hello. Lord. Never even got a heart given to me. Unless you asked to love you. I made so many. Oh, come on! Guys, you like how live streams become YouTube videos in black and white. Just kidding, guys. I ain't in black and white. Get only joined it because guests are just too late. They could live stream something. Subscribers. That's a bunch of interesting apps. Side to side. I have a feeling. Week stuff. Going outdoors. No, sure. My batteries though. I could grab the charger, shove it in the charging station. That would be called plagiarism. Do it. Your bucket. Animation. The time I went outside. And I would. Come on. One time I made another video. Okay, so. I just. Pause it. Oh, okay. I'm back!
Welcome to the Salty Splatoon. How tough are you? How tough am I? How tough am I?
Yeah?
How about this one? I call it bold and bright.
Hate you even if that makes sense.
I hate you even if
That's
you
weird.
were me. That's how much I hate you.
Check it out. Eat 'em out. Gary! I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.
I can't seem to get happy.
Relax. It's only the boat. Okay. Now, what do you do next?
Lower it?
Yes. No! No! Don't roar it!
Lower it?
No! No, no, don't roar it!
Okay, lower it. Who put you on the planet?
It's a jellyfish.
Pretty good, SpongeBob, but it's lacking basic construction, and your perspective leaves a lot to be desired.
Everybody's a critic.
SpongeBob, your drawing's coming to life.
That's more like it, Mr. Critic.
No, I mean it's swimming away. Whoa! Whoa!
What are you simpletons doing? You're supposed to cut these things, not torture yourself with them.
Hey, SpongeBob! iBomb!
Patrick, no more eye bumps, okay?
Okay, so I'm just going to get right into the meat of this topic. I love reading fables. If you weren't paying attention in 10th grade English, a fable is a short story, usually with talking animals that have a moral at the end of them. A good way to remember is that the word fable starts with an F, and so does furries. So, some examples of a fable you might have heard are The Tortoise and the Hare, Humpty Dumpty, Pacific Rim, and The Autobiography of Hillary Clinton. This one's a fable because the main character is a bitch. I'm just kidding. Humpty Dumpty's not a fable. So there's this guy named Aesop, and he's best known for creating a bunch of fables. He's written over 655, and seriously, I don't know why for some reason we can't find the exact number. How many fables has he written? Over 655! Oh, so 656? Like, what's the range here? Unfortunately, he has died, so we won't be writing any more fables. Shakespearean and old-timey, and it makes you feel like you're smart for reading these short paragraph-long stories. And even better, they have a moral at the end of them. So once you're done reading, you're like, oh, man, that was deep. Like, every single fable can end with one character dropping a microphone. Like, the whole story is just build up to that one moral moment. Okay, so I'm going to read some of my favorite fables to you guys. I'm not going to read them how Aesop wrote them, though, because he had so many unnecessary smart-sounding words when really all of his fables could be shortened down to like 3 sentences. So here we go. Aesop's fables in my own words. Belling the cat. So there's these mice that get together, and they're trying to come up with a plan to get this cat to stop killing them. And one mouse is like, oh, we could put a bell around the cat, you know, so now we can hear it or something. And this other mouse is like, yeah, alright, yeah, that's cool. Who's going to put the bell on? Okay, this one's kind of actually stupid. I don't really know what the moral is. Like, maybe no one wants to sacrifice themselves for the good of humanity or my sanity or... Okay, here's my version of the rest of that story. So after the mouse said that, the other mouse goes, oh, geez, other mouse, so you're right, I didn't think of that. Well, I guess I say we all grab our toothpicks and kill the cat. You know, at least that ending made sense. A bell? How about you poison it? Or, like, move somewhere where there's not a cat in the first place? The horse and the groom. So there's this horse and a groom, which is not the wedding kind, it's an actual groomer, who just calls himself a groom. So this groom spends all this time brushing the horse and making it look pretty. And he also takes some of the horse's oats and sells it for extra cash. Okay, stop right there. Aren't oats supposed to be really cheap? Isn't that a thing? Okay, so the horse is getting malnourished and says, you know, you should really stop worrying about brushing me and more about feeding me. Now, you might be thinking, what's with all these gooses that like golden eggs? Jack and the Beanstalk did it. The Simpleton Brothers did it. Well, did you know that this is the very first time a goose laying golden eggs has ever appeared in writing? I actually don't know if that's true. I made it up. I mean, it might be true. I don't know. It's 500 BC, you guys. It's a long time ago. And the goose only lays 1 egg a day. And the farmer gets greedy and wants more eggs. So he thinks, I bet all the eggs are inside the goose. So he chops up the goose, and guess what? There's only more goose parts in there, not eggs. Okay, so the moral, know how basic things work, especially if you're a farmer and you don't know how geese work, or at least be close friends with someone who knows this. Hey man, I don't think that's how geese work. I mean, I get how you might think this is a magic goose because everything about this is physically impossible, but we could already live pretty decent lives with just 1 egg a day. Like, we're already in the top 1% now. How can a goose carry around a golden egg inside of itself? Do you know how heavy gold is? If there's solid gold, can a goose ever have babies? It seems like an evolutionary dead end to me. The bat and the weasels. So there once was a bat, and he fell somehow. Aesop never really says how it fell. It's a bat. It can fly. Okay, so the bat gets caught by a weasel. Like, one of these things? Okay, so you're saying that a bat gets caught by a weasel because it's cold. Okay, that part wasn't in the story. So the weasel lets him go, but then it happens again with a different weasel, and this weasel says, I am an enemy to mice, and I'm going to eat you. And the bat goes, oh, tiny weasel, but I'm not a mouse. I'm a bird. And then he lets him go. Again, sometimes Aesop wrote the moral you're supposed to take at the end. He did it with this one, and the moral verbatim is, look and see which way the wind blows before you commit yourself. So are you saying to follow the crowd? Like, go with the flow? That's not really good moral, Aesop. Also, why didn't the bat just say, I'm a bat, losers, and I can fly? Later, it's also teaching you to make up lies on the spot that contradict your first lie. That's how you get caught lying. Okay, so last fable, the fox and the crow. So this crow has a piece of cheese in her beak, and this fox comes along and is like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, I just love your feathers. I wish I could just hear you sing. This crow is now very flattered, and she goes to sing, and then the cheese falls out of her mouth, and the fox eats it. And then the last line, this is beautiful. The fox says, you have a voice, madam. I see. What you want is wits. Moral of the story, everyone wants to steal your cheese. Don't let your guard down for a second. That would be a good t-shirt design. Like, it would say, everyone wants to steal your cheese, and then it would have like a silhouette of a fox and a crow. Someone make that t-shirt. I'll buy it. So, like I said, I don't know what this one's about. I don't know what the joke is. I just don't get it. So I will make you an offer. I will give $20 to anyone that explains what this comic is trying to do. So immediately after posting the Garfield video, comment that I saw first, and it was most upvoted. Some people probably spent a good 10 minutes typing out all these explanations. I'm sorry, but this guy was first. So after trying to figure out how to message him on YouTube, I asked if he had a Twitter. He said he did, and we talked there. You got a PayPal? No, I'm only 15. Crap. So we decided that I would pay him via a Steam gift card. I just wanted to mention that and say that I was true to my promise of $23. Except Steam only has $20 gift card, so I guess $3 is still on the table. So now, what you've all been waiting for, let me explain what the comic was trying to do. So that is a toothbrush, and that is toothpaste, and that is John walking up to it. And okay, you know how adults and dentists tell kids that the amount of toothpaste